Hey everybody, welcome to Drive Thru Review 201. Today I'm going to review Maximum Throwdown. This is a brand new game from AEG, and it is kind of like the game Flowerfall, if you are familiar with that. It kind of takes Flowerfall to the next level, so to speak. In this game you're going to be throwing cards onto a table or some kind of surface, and basically there's icons that you're going to have on the card that you're trying to leave revealed. So you'll be trying to throw your cards on top of other people's cards and trying to sort of strategically place your cards to make it difficult for people to cover your icons. So let me just show you how it works, and I'll come back and tell you what I think. So here you can see everything that comes in the game. It plays 2 to 6 players. What players are going to do is they're going to pick one of these decks here. So you've got here sort of a demon looking character there, or you've got a samurai here, you've got a werewolf, alien, dragon, you've got a lady pirate here. And then each player's got a deck of cards, and they have different colored backs. You can see there's different icons on here. So this is blue with some different icons, and then the demon here's got red with some different icons like there. And then there's also 6 locations, and these locations do correspond to the factions here. So you can see sort of a Oriental style temple there, Japanese temple, that goes with the samurai. But what you're going to do is everybody's going to choose one of these factions or these stacks of cards, and then you're going to take these locations and then put them out on the board. Now, the rule book suggests a couple of different setups, but you can basically set these up how you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and set these up pretty basically. I think this is sort of like the most basic setup in the game. So you set those out, and this is sort of your target mat that you're trying to throw your cards onto. So let's take a look at the alien deck here. So each deck comes with a little player aid here that outlines this turn sequence and then what all the different icons do. Now basically what you're going to do on your turn is draw a card, and then you're going to throw it. Now the rules say you can throw it from pretty much anywhere as long as everybody kind of agrees, but I say for the most part you shouldn't have your hand over the defined playing area, because then you'd basically just be dropping the card. It's very much a throwing game, whereas for Flowerfall for the most part you're trying to drop it. But you could change the rules. You can make it so you have to stand up around the table or whatever you want to do, whatever people agree upon. So let's say I take the alien and I throw it out there. As long as it's touching another card, then it's legal. So if I'd thrown this and missed, then this would actually get discarded out of play and it wouldn't count. So maybe the alien player goes, and then we'll have the werewolf player go. He'll throw a card. So once it gets back to your turn, any icons that you have that are totally uncovered, so if you'd thrown it like that, then we would have covered that icon, it would not apply. So at the beginning of my turn, I take a look at my cards, and then I will sort of count up the icons and kind of see what kind of special abilities I have available to me this turn and how many points I've scored. So let's take a quick look at the turn sequence. So the first thing you're going to do obviously is evaluate the icons, see which ones are legal. Everybody's going to agree on that. Then you're going to score points. Now you're going to score points for every 6 pips that you're showing face up there. So if I had some more here, let's say 2 6s. The alien guys seem like they have a lot of 5s and 6s. I had those showing, but here's like a 5, so here's a 1 pip. So if I had this one out here like so, then I've got 2 points, 6 there and 6 there. So the game doesn't give you any way to keep track of points, but you can use pen and paper or a scoring app or something like that. So after you evaluate points, you're going to either be able to attack and or steal. And the stealing icons are these little ninja masks there. So when you steal a card, you basically can choose one of the other players, take their card, and then throw their card out onto the playing board. Now you could just throw it off the side and basically get rid of it and discard that way, because it would be considered a miss. But there's some times where you want to take a card and then maybe cover up one of their existing cards or another opponent's cards, maybe whose turn is coming up on the very next turn. So you can take and steal that and then use that to cover up somebody else's icons. Or you want to be careful not to cover up your own though. So that's a steal. So for every steal icon you've got, you can do that many times. The attack icon here are these little swords here. And what that is, if we had this one showing at the start of our turn, we can take somebody's top card and just get rid of it. You don't throw it or anything, you just take it and then discard it. So after you've done any attacks and steals, then you're going to be able to draw. So normally you can always draw 1 card and then throw 1 card. But if you have any of these plus symbols here, then you'll be able to draw extra cards. So in this case, the alien player, he's got 1 extra plus symbol, so he could draw 2 cards, and then he could choose and look and see which one of these he wanted to throw that one, and then put the rest of them back on the deck. However, you may be able to throw extra cards, and that's where these hand symbols come in here. So you can see for every hand symbol you can throw extra cards. Now you obviously can't throw cards that you didn't draw, so in this case the alien player, he's got his normal draw plus his extra draw there, so he's got 2 draws total, and then you can see he's got 2 extra throws for a total of 3, because you always get 1 draw and 1 throw. So he could throw both of those cards that he wanted out on the board. Now the last symbol here is this break symbol, like so. And what that means is that you can get sort of a redo or rethrow on your turn. So for every break symbol, you're going to look at that while you're throwing. So if I had thrown and then missed, so if I had missed, I hadn't touched any cards here, then this would be considered a miss. I could sort of use up that throw or that break to rethrow the card and try to get it in a better position. So you're basically going to play around and around and around until everybody has used up all of their cards. And it's very likely, depending on which decks are being played there, that somebody may get, burned out of cards. Maybe they drew and threw a bunch, or maybe they got attacked or stolen from, and then, they ran out of cards in their deck. So even if you are removed from the game and you're out of cards, you don't have anything to play, when it comes back to your turn, you're still going to score any points that are still face up for you. And then once everybody is done playing cards and they're used up every card in their deck, then we're going to do one final trip around the board. Everybody's going to add up all the points that they have available, and then whoever has the most points wins. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the overview. This game is a blast to play. I played it several times in the last 24 hours. We played it a bunch at lunch today. And after a while, you kind of started to figure out some of the different tendencies of the factions. So we had one guy that was playing, and he kept winning. He had the alien faction because, like I said earlier, they have lots of 6s. So that's just 1 point. Right on that one spot is just 1 point focus there. So we were like, oh, you keep winning, you got the alien. We think the aliens are broken. So we let another guy play aliens, and then he played, what did he play? I think he played dragons, and then he won again. So it had nothing to do with the alien. It had to just do with him somehow either getting lucky or being skillful at the game. But there are different sort of tendencies from the different factions. Some of them will get a lot of, extra draws and extra throws. And then, like the alien has some of those different focused 6s. They have a lot of those. But some of them have like a circle of 1s, kind of in the middle of the card as a collection. So it's very interesting, kind of like where you're going to try to place the card as the cards kind of expand out. The player is going to get a little bit bigger. So you don't want to kind of bunch in the middle, because then it's easy for somebody to cover you and possibly some other people. I will say this is definitely better with more than 2 players. Now 2 players is fine. I mean, it's just a quick 10-minute game, so it's not the end of the world. But with the 3 players, you can kind of negotiate. The stealing is much more important in more than 2. But with more than 2, you can take the guy to your right's card, because he's not going to get a turn for a while, and then try to throw it on top of the guy to your left's turn, because he's going to come up right away, and then you don't have to waste your card covering up him. You can get that, maybe throw it on sort of the edge of the board away from everybody else, and now you've got 2 or 3 little patches that are doing effects for you or scoring points. So it's fun. I mean, it is what it is. You can play it in like 10 minutes, and you can have fun with it. You can make up your own rules. Everybody's got to be on their knees or throw it behind their head, or do sky hooks and stuff like that. Oh, the one thing I didn't mention is if the card lands on the other side where the picture is up, that's still legal. It's still in there, but it's just basically it's not doing anything for you other than covering up anything. So yeah, that's Maximum Throwdown. Definitely fun, quick little filler. It's kind of like Flower Fall to 2.0, I guess you could call it, or something like that. So anyway, take a look. I'm not sure what it'll retail for. I assume it'd be pretty cheap, so right around $10. So I think it's definitely worth money, and you can just play it a bunch and have fun and hoot and holler and laugh and try not to get thrown out of your office. Okay, thanks.